Do you know how it is when you're supposed to be doing chores around the house and you just get totally distracted because you just don't want to work? Well, let me show you what I spent this afternoon doing. Good afternoon, y'all. So I don't want you to think that I didn't work today, because actually I did work today. Thursday is cleaning the bathroom day, so I probably need a drink. That is not my favorite chore at all. So the drink that I'm doing today, because it is a weekday, is I have made a little mojito, and it's alcohol free. Now you can easily just add like some light rum to it if you want the regular cocktail, which if it were the weekend I would be doing. But we love the Baja Bobs. This is their mojito mix. It has no carbs, no calories. It's sweetened with Splenda, which is a plus for me. And we go through a lot of this stuff during the summer. They have all kinds of flavors, but all you do is it's like 2 parts of this, and you could use sparkling water. I like the lime LaCroix, and I just added some fresh mint from my yard and a lime, and I am gonna attempt to arrange some flowers. So I had to go over to my mom's house. That's so good. I had to go to my mom's house to feed her cats, and I decided to do a little garden tour to see if she had any vegetables that needed to come off. But yeah, no such luck. But I did pick some flowers. So some of the flowers came from her yard, some came from mine. I have to be careful about what I use in the house because lilies are very poisonous to cats. So I don't pick any of my lilies, although they're super beautiful. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so here's what I found outside to use. Oh, and I know what I was going to tell you. My cats don't jump a lot, so I don't have to worry too much about them like jumping on my mantle. If I put my flowers higher up, they don't even notice. They don't bother it. But still, I try to stay pretty conscious of that and pretty safe. So I grabbed a mason jar. I actually keep one of these handy because I like to do fresh flowers. Now, I don't usually go out and buy fresh flowers because they're sort of pricey for me, and you know, I have a lot around my yard, so you might as well use what you've got. So I have, and don't laugh at me if you are a professional flower arranger, because this is just me being an art teacher, just throwing some things in a jar. So I have my mason jar. Now when I went outside, I tried to pick one big flower, which is my hibiscus. I picked a hydrangea. That's really pretty too, but it's sort of droopy. I've got it in water, so maybe I'll do a little bit more with that later. I feel like it needs to perk up a little bit because it's hot outside. So I have that. And then I picked several other smaller flowers. When I pick my flowers, I always try to get them in groups of 3. Because odd numbers are always good. Like, okay, so when I did my big flower, I did 1, but if I had a bigger arrangement, I'd want to use at least 3 bigger flowers. So groups of 3. I have my big flowers. I have some things that are sort of medium size, like my daisies. And I don't know why the stems on these are so crazy. Like, they're so curvy and curly. I don't know. So I have some daisies. They've been in water too. Everything is just so wilty today, I feel like, including me. And I have some small things with a pop of color. I don't know what these are. I really don't know what a lot of the names of these are, but they're cute. They're in my mom's yard. She is the best grower ever. We have some bushes, and for the life of me, I cannot think of what the names of these are. They bloom during the wintertime, but they've got these pretty glossy leaves. I'm gonna use that for my filler. And then I got some lantana. That was in my yard. Everything's so wilty. I'm just gonna let it, while I'm talking, freshen up a little bit. It just needs a little water. Okay, so what I did with my mason jar, I just took some duct tape. Who doesn't need duct tape for everything? I use it for everything. I would even duct tape my rugs to the floor, my wood floors, and it didn't mess them up like you would think. It didn't do anything at all. I had to scrub a little bit to get it off, but I'm just saying, duct tape is good for everything. So I put a little bit on there, and I just did 2 pieces across. If you wanted to get really complicated, or if you had something larger, you could do more vertical and more horizontal pieces of tape. And I keep meaning to get some of the thinner, you could use floral tape. I just never had that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put water in my jar, because I find that it's really hard to do that afterwards. And honestly, like I said, I'm not a professional flower decorator, but I just like things around my house and I want them to be free. Now, because my counter is so low, I'm gonna put this, use my cake stand. It probably sees more activity using it as a stand than it does actually having a cake on there. So I start with my bigger flower. Now, I pull off most of the stems that are the leaves that are lower down because they kind of get in the way. You have to make sure it's in the water. And I find that my duct tape pretty much holds everything in place. So I put that in first. Now, sometimes people put their greenery in first, and I found that when I'm working with something small, sometimes I don't leave enough room for my flowers. So I go ahead and put those in first. Now, same things, and I wish that I could remember the name of that. Oh my gosh, they always have the prettiest leaves. And I try to make sure that I have arranged it. My words. I try to make sure that I have arranged it so it's nice and even. Like, I wouldn't want everything on one side or everything on the other side. I usually start with maybe 2 pieces on the other side. If I need some in the front, I could add a little bit in the front like this, maybe pointing down. My flower is my focal point, so I don't want to cover a lot of that up. Okay, so I've got some leaves around. I've got that. Now I can add my medium-sized pieces, which maybe are my daisies. And I just stripped all of the stuff off of that. So let me stick those in like that. You got to just make sure that they are in the water. Maybe one in front. You just have to play with it. You don't want everything in a clump together for sure. The tape does make it easier for things to stay. And I feel like I would have better luck with these daisies if they were not so curly. So I don't know. I didn't have 3 that I felt like looked decent with that. And it's so hard. I feel like I'm doing this backwards with me not looking at it and y'all looking at it. There we go. There's 3 and then the 1. I don't want to cover that up. Then I can go in with, I'm going to turn it around, with some of my smaller pieces, making sure they're in the water. That's just for a little pop of color here and there. And I do peel off most everything, so I just have the stem open, and I try to use 3 where I can, which maybe my 3rd one is going to be more towards the back side. It's just always a pretty safe thing. Now, I'm going to have this on my mantle, so nobody's going to see the back. So I don't really need to make sure it looks pretty all the way around. I'm really just kind of focused on the sides and the front. And then I have some tall pieces because I like a little bit of height. Now, you should never go, I think it's 1.5 times taller. Like, I wouldn't want to put a flower that tall in a little mason jar. That would be a no-no. But I do like some taller pieces. I like for it to be artsy. And I'm gonna stick that on the inside of my tape like that. See how the tape sort of holds it a little bit? I feel like I almost need, maybe I should have put more tape. I don't know. Like we said, we're flying by the seat of our pants. Just like we do in the art room. So if you were one of my students, yeah, you know how that goes. We're artsy and we fly by the seat of our pants. You know, all of my yellow pieces are wanting to fall towards the front. I've never seen such curvy stems on flowers in my life. I don't know why they're wanting to do that. I feel like I need one in the front here, right there. And I'm just working in 3s, and because I still want something a little taller, yeah, I brought some potato vine in because I like the light green, but I don't think that's going to work for that because it is not perky at all. But I do have my lantana. This always does well. Kind of gives it an artsy look. So you want to be careful not to overdo it. And kind of balance it out. And I'm hoping that my stuff will perk up a little bit more because it's looking really sad right now. It was like, I do not want to come in out of the sun. Oh my gosh. So you just kind of have to work with it a little bit. You want your greenery. I think I need a little bit more greenery right here in that empty spot. But you know, sometimes a lot of it is just the fun of doing something creative. Okay, so I have some green around there. I have my focal point. I'm hoping my flowers will perk up. I have my 3 yellows. I wish this were a little bit higher like this. Maybe I can get it to stay. So that you want to be able to kind of see the layers. You want some things to be closer in. This is so hard to do backwards. So bring that daisy out a little bit more. I'm hoping my flowers will perk up because right now, I tell you, they are just looking so sad. So sad. So I'm gonna call it a day. It's good enough for me. Now I wish I had some pieces that would kind of hang out. I think that would look really cool too. But really you just have to play with it. Remember to work in groups of 3. You want some pieces that are close to the opening, some pieces that are taller. You want definitely different heights. I don't like them when they look like a little circle. And I will put it on my mantle and it's gonna look really pretty. I know y'all probably always think that I wear black. I know, I do wear the most black. And I promise I'm not wearing the same thing every time I make a video. I promise I'm not. But like sometimes I get up in the morning and it's like, what kind of accessories do I want to wear? That's the type of person I am. I'm an accessory person and I wake up and just figure out what I want to wear from there. And mostly it's black because black's so easy. And look at Tequila back there in the back. Black is easy and it kind of goes with everything. Now this was a cute Amazon top that I've got. It's a little bit longer in the back, almost like a tunic length. And I just have it on with some jean shorts. And it's a good little casual, easy outfit for the summer. My necklace is twine and twig as well as my bracelets. And it's just kind of a fun, easy, summery thing. So you maybe didn't get anything from this video at all, but at least maybe hopefully I was entertaining. So I challenge you maybe to try your hand at more crafty little things this summer, whether it's making a drink or arranging some flowers. You know, take a minute and have fun with your life. Try to make every day special. And if that's throwing some flowers in a jar that makes your day special, then that's exactly what you need to do. So if you like my videos, please remember to subscribe. I forget to ask, but remember to subscribe for more content. And don't forget, I do have other content too on my Miss Ever Changing blog. So have a good afternoon and I will see you in the next video.